Drawing all his energy into his knife, he skillfully blocks their attacks and lunges at them like a samurai. Amid the skirmish, he slashes Jargle in his ankle and backside, administering a final blow to his head as he falls to his knees. The movie begins in South Korea, where police have captured former Interpol detective, Kim Yul, for the murder of the notorious mob boss of the Creek crime syndicate, Carlos Kuhn. Despite committing the crime to avenge his wife and daughter, the court sentenced Kim to death by exiling him to a prison island called AP-101. The area is described as an isolation zone for all death row inmates all over Southeast Asia. Sometime later on the island, a young girl, Jin, flees from bloodthirsty bandits with her mother, Molly, through the thick jungle canopy. Her mother is quite skilled at archery, which she demonstrates to eliminate most men chasing after them. The pair arrive on the beach, where a thug pierces his knife on Molly's left shoulder until Jin intervenes, giving her a chance to knock him out with a rock. Molly tells her daughter to run as more ruffians arrive to kill her. They chase after Jin and are about to capture her when Kim appears, walking slowly on the beach while his body is restrained by a straitjacket and his mouth is covered by a mask. He asks for Kuhn, but the men reveal nothing about him. The young girl stands in disbelief as the former detective quickly incapacitates all her captors. She returns to an unconscious Molly, who has been knocked out by a brutish thug. Kim then kicks him in the face and defeats him. Feeling grateful, Jin removes his restraints and promises to reveal Carlos' whereabouts in exchange for helping her return to the village with her mother. He agrees, removing his dog tag before carrying an unconscious Molly to the jungle. Later, Kim is surprised to see a colony of inmates creating a hidden sanctuary on the island. Bao, the self-appointed colony leader, initially becomes wary of him, knowing that outsiders are not welcome. Before his thugs can attack him, Jin protests, telling them he is the reason she and her mother are still alive. Bao and the men perform an amusing dance and chant, threatening to kill him, but he remains unfazed. While Kim rests, Molly is taken inside the hut to be looked after by Li Pa, the colony's doctor. He administers herbal medicine to ease her wounds. Later in the evening, the group is having dinner when Bao notices Kim does not respond to any questions about his mission to find Carlos or pay attention to his surroundings. Jin believes he is a silent type and probably has a good reason to be sent to the island. As Kim sleeps, he recalls the day his family was murdered by Carlos in front of him. The following day, Molly recovers but becomes anxious upon seeing Kim, who she claims is responsible for her incarceration on the island during his tenure as a police officer. Kim promises to leave them alone if she points him to Carlos' location, which she reveals is in the direction of a volcano. As he departs, Jin retrieves his family's photo and runs after him. Molly confesses to Bao that she was sent to exile on the island while pregnant with her daughter, something she can never forgive Kim for. Later, Jin gets caught in a trap while following the former detective. She promises to lead him to Kuhn when freed, believing she can avenge her late father killed by Kuhn. Along the way to the volcano path, she tells him about the day Kuhn arrived on the island, accompanied by another prisoner, Ku. He mercilessly killed some inmates waiting for him and cut off Bao's hand. Not long after approaching a grassy field, Jin recognizes a dying prisoner, Yang, lying in a ditch with other dead bodies. Before he can warn her about the danger, she gets snatched by Kuhn's thugs, who are pretending to be corpses. Kim recovers her toy bunny, remembering his daughter used to own one when she was still alive. Meanwhile, after becoming aware of Jin's disappearance, Molly, Bao, and the colony's inmates band together to search for her. Not long after, Kim enters a derelict prison and gets warned by the guards. One by one, the former cop incapacitates them with his incredible fighting skills. He passes through a torture area and beats up the thugs with swift punches and kicks. Elsewhere, Jin is brought to the warden, Sergei, asking the little girl to sit with him while he eats. Kim angrily bursts into the room and fights his thugs, who are no match for him. An arrogant Sergei applauds, feeling impressed with his skills. He then spars with Kim, believing his brutish strength can overpower the former detective. However, Kim unlocks his full potential, showcasing his martial arts moves that ultimately kill Sergei, leaving a bloody mess. He then hands Jin the warden's knife so she can use it to protect herself when the time comes. Feeling disturbed witnessing the brutality, she runs back to the colony while recalling when she saw Kuhn brutally murder his father with a spear in front of Molly and all the inmates. This event caused a rift that led to the separation of each faction. Jin is left with a handcrafted leather tag her dad made and engraved with Molly and her initials. Later, Molly and her group arrive at the torture room and free a female prisoner that reveals Jin has fled. Molly takes the toy bunny and leaves with the prisoners as Kim reflects on his actions. Unbeknownst to him, a spy reports his actions to Kuhn on another hideout, revealing Sergei's death. Remembering Kim why he is disfigured and exiled to the island, the former crime boss becomes furious, executing the inmate with the knife of his right-hand man, Jargle. He then summons all his fiercest hunters, including Ku, to eliminate the former detective at all costs. They enter the jungle and find evidence that Molly's colony and the young girl are also around the area. Meanwhile, Bao and the inmates search for Jin when they accidentally get separated from Molly, who has entered Kun's territory. Simultaneously, Ku and her hunters discover the young girl sitting on a bench. Kim suddenly appears, blocking the arrow shot by Ku to kill her. He then covers her with a sheet and bursts through the window as the archers launch their arrows and surround the abandoned outpost. Molly arrives, sneaking around the area to avoid Kun's cohorts. Kim and Jin search for a hiding spot as Ku relentlessly chases from behind. Upon seeing blood smeared on broken furniture, she shoots her toxic arrow at the back of a wrecked wooden panel, piercing Kim's backside. Suddenly, Molly shoots a few of her thugs from the outside, prompting Ku to leave the room to search for her. Launching an arrow behind her back, she slowly creeps toward the courtyard, only to find the real Molly hiding behind a corpse. She is instantly killed after getting shot in the neck. Molly finds Jin and a poisoned Kim, reluctantly patching up his wound at the behest of her daughter. Bao and his men soon arrive at the compound and help carry the unconscious former cop back to their village while evading Kun's enforcers. Bao and another inmate stay behind, diverting Molly and her daughter to escape on the other side. Upon arriving home, Molly begs the demented Li Pa to cure Kim of the poison arrow, kissing him to snap him out of his delusions. After inspecting the wound, he believes Kim is succumbing to the effects of a Cocanthera spectabilis, wintersweet, a poisonous shrub native to Africa. Luckily, its toxicity has not spread to his major arteries, so he can brew an antidote and return him to full strength. The process takes some hours of brewing herbal tea and acupuncture. However, Jin and Molly stay to watch over the former police officer. Meanwhile, Molly and his friend accidentally trigger a rope trap while traversing the jungle. They spend the evening hanging upside down until Jargle and his men appear and capture them. Bao begs for their release, believing Jargle will honor the favor when he saved him some time ago. Instead, the right-hand man's hunchbacked goon slaughters his friend before him. Simultaneously, Molly finds Kim's family photo and keeps it inside Jin's satchel. As morning dawns, Bao is released from captivity and returns to tell the colony their lives will be spared if they surrender Kim to Kun's custody. Unbeknownst to them, however, Jargle and his men intend to raid them after one of the colony's members, Takuya, reveals their location. They soon arrive at the village, killing Takuya to show authority, though Molly shoots one of Jargle's men in the chest. Chaos ensues as the thugs fight with the prisoners. Jin becomes aware of the raid outside and urges Kim to awaken from his unconscious state, but he does not respond. Bao helplessly watches as many of his fellow inmates, including a mother and daughter, are slaughtered. Jargle approaches a weary Molly and beats her up, but Bao defends her, ignoring the favor of being kept alive. He ultimately sacrifices himself to spare her from getting stabbed in the chest. In the hut, the doctor passes out as Kim dreams about the day Kun shoots his daughter in the head as he begs for his life to be taken instead. Jargle becomes disgusted when he sprays with blood on his chest, blocking Jin's attempt to kill him with a knife. Fortunately, before he can move it toward the little girl's neck, Kim awakens and stands despite feeling weak from his recuperation. Grabbing a long knife, he manages to fuel his inner strength and incapacitate Jargle's bloodthirsty thugs. With everyone dead, he stands off against Jargle and the hunchbacked goon. Drawing all his energy into his knife, he skillfully blocks their attacks and lunges at them like a samurai. Amid the skirmish, he slashes Jargle in his ankle and backside, administering a final blow to his head as he falls to his knees. The hunchbacked goon continues the fight, equipping 2 sharp bolo knives to attack Kim. He is executed through quick slashes to his joints and body. He then leaves Molly and Jin to see Kun at his secret hideout. Meanwhile, the former crime boss strips naked, covering his scars with volcanic ash to prepare for his upcoming face-off. Moments later, Kim arrives, taking out 2 guards along the hallway. He proceeds to the encaged room where Kun is smoking, anticipating his arrival. Kim declares he must die for his brutal acts on his wife and daughter. Unfazed, Kun prepares to spar with him, believing they are due for a fight after a long time of incarceration. The pair are evenly matched, as both display exceptional martial arts skills. Kun pins him onto the floor to stab Kim, but he evades it, wrapping his legs around his neck to escape his clutches. They continue the fight, as the crime boss brandishes a knife while Kim uses his hand wraps to keep him at bay. After both men are disarmed, they resort to melee combat, with the former officer ultimately overpowering him. Curiously, Kun eats the poisonous shrubs to gain strength, but his efforts are proven useless as he grows weary. Kim then pins him on the floor, bashing him on the head until he dies. Though bruised from combat, the former police officer stands victorious, knowing he has avenged his family's murder. He leaves Koon's dead body and exits the abandoned building, accomplishing his mission. Not long after these events, Jin and Molly feel at peace with all the maniacs who used to run rampant dead at Kim's hands. Though relieved they can start anew, the young girl is hopeful Kim will do the same when he leaves the island. Elsewhere, the former police officer stands on the cliff's edge and sees a passing ship on the horizon. The movie ends as he looks determined to swim and climb aboard the vessel, believing it will take him back home. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this to help the channel out. Have a nice day.